Good afternoon guys, welcome to this edition of Cyclopedia. Richard here. Today I'm in a kind of familiar place to most people from Singapore, Sentosa, but I'm hoping that I'm going to take you to some more of the unfamiliar places, as in I'm not going to Universal Studios, I'm not going to a posh hotel, I'm going to get run over. So yeah, today we're going to do a couple of the walking trails in Sentosa. In case you didn't know, there are some walking trails in Sentosa, and then we're going to have a little tour around a historical spot, and then I'm going to take you to a very different area of Sentosa. Doesn't feel like Singapore at all. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to go there later tonight and meet my family. Yeah, so let's get on with the first scenic spot from today, which is the Imbiah Trail. There's quite a bit of dodgy furniture and public construction works on the trail. I mean, that is, I think somebody's been watching a bit too much of Jurassic Park. They put bloody dinosaur skeleton as an archway over the path, but there's no accounting for taste. I mean, the good thing about this place is that you're literally 5 minutes away from the beaches and beach station, which is the busy part of Sentosa, and there's not soul. I mean, it's a school holiday today, and so far I haven't met one other person walking, which is kind of sad for me anyway. So it's a nice little walk if you're ever in the region. One thing I would say is bring some mosquito repellent or some essential oils, as I prefer to use. I didn't bring any today, and now I'm wishing I had, because every time I stop to set up the camera I'm getting attacked. There's quite a few mozzies around, although I guess it's probably to do with the fact that we're in the middle of the monsoon season at the moment. But anyway, you've been warned. Okay guys, I'm done with the Imbiah Trail. Now I'm going to head on to the coastal walk. Okay guys, so I'm on the coastal path now. It's more of a bike path than an actual walking track, but I mean, it's still, you know, it's okay. It's nice and shady, not too hot. The only thing I'm worried about is I think there's a monsoon storm incoming. Wow, I just got back to civilization before the rain started, luckily. So now I'm off to a historic site, Fort Siloso. It was here that I was supposed to tell you a bit about the history of Fort Siloso, how it worked in tandem with Labrador Battery to protect Singapore's southern ports from enemy ships, how it wasn't much use during the Japanese invasion of Singapore because it had the wrong kind of shells, armour piercing instead of high explosive, but that it was in fact really effective as the mere presence of Siloso and other forts meant that the Japanese didn't dare to invade via the sea, and that there's far too much to tell you about the fort and that you really should visit yourself, but not during the middle of monsoon season, as you may get stuck in a bunker for an hour like I did. But that didn't happen, as I left my camera in slow-mo mode, so I've had to record this voiceover at home instead. Now, I like to think I know quite a bit about the war in Malaya and Singapore now, because I've been studying it quite a lot recently, but I just learned a lot more about the resistance movement in Malaya during the war and the occupation of Singapore. So yeah, this place is there's a lot of really good information. You can learn more about the war in Asia, which is great for me because when I was young, basically we learned more about the war in Europe. So to find more about the war in Asia is particularly interesting to somebody like me. Okay guys, we're done with the history on Sentosa now. Finished at Fort Siloso. It's just starting to rain again, so I'm going to have to get a move on. So now I'm off to a completely different part of Sentosa, out of the old, into the new. I'm off to Sentosa Cove to meet the fam for some dinner. So we'll see you over there. Is it me, or does Sentosa remind you of Miami? Sentosa Cove may be a playground for the rich and famous, but ordinary people like me and you can also visit, and if you fancy, dine there too. Just don't expect hawker centre prices. There's a strip of restaurants and shops skirting the marina, which evokes images of Monte Carlo or Miami and makes for a very pleasant night out. Food-wise, there's quite a variety. You can choose from Greek, Mexican, Italian, Chinese, burgers, and of course seafood. We had eaten at a couple of places previously, so this time we decided to try somewhere new. So we chose an Italian place called Sole Pomodoro. We ordered calamari and a garlic pizza bread for starters, while for mains we got a 4-cheese pizza, grilled chicken skewer and a kid's meatball pasta. And while the atmosphere and service was fine, the food didn't quite live up to expectations. While the garlic pizza bread for starter was good, the 4-cheese pizza had absolutely no tomato at all and 2 types of cheese at most. A real disappointment. The calamari batter was nice and crispy, but the squid was tough and chewy. My kids, meanwhile, had no complaints. My daughter scoffed down her chicken skewers and my son polished off his pasta. Hit and miss is the best way to describe it, but when you eat in a place like this and pay Sentosa prices, you expect it to be a hit. Okay guys, so my day in Sentosa without going to Universal Studios has come to an end and we're off back home now. So that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, if you don't want to miss one of my Saturday morning adventures, then please click the bell for notifications. Alright guys, that's it. See you next week. Over and out. Is it me, or does this... Shit. Damn.